Hi everyone, so I just finished this makeup look and I did record the process as well as I had a little bit of a chit chat with you during it. What do they call it on YouTube? I think it's like get ready and chit chat and get ready with me or something. Anyways, it's one of those. But I finally got to play with the Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon Colourpop palette and I used basically these four colors to create this look. But if you're interested in how I did it and have a little bit of a chit chat with me about confidence and how I think it's very important to fake it till you make it sometimes, keep watching. So I went ahead and already did one eye because if I tried to do both eyes while chatting with you, this would take me hours. I ended up using just the bottom row of color. There was zero room in my lid for any neutrals today. I only want color. So yeah, let's go ahead and do this eye and let's go ahead and start chatting. I'm gonna go in with the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. This is the original one. I know there's the age-defying one, which I should probably get now that I am in my 30s. By the way, I am 30. Hi, hello. And then I tap it in with my ring finger very lightly and just make sure that my entire lid is completely coated in the eyeshadow primer. So let's go ahead and get started with the fun stuff. The shadows. I'm gonna go in with the color Justice, that is the yellow right here, on a fluffy brush. And I'm just gonna pick up some pigment, knock off the excess. I will say that these shadows definitely have a lot of fallout. It doesn't really bother me, especially because I don't do a base. But if you do get this palette and you do a base and you do base first, that is something to think of. This definitely has a lot of fallout because like there is glitter all over here, but I think it looks pretty. However, if I was wearing foundation, I could see how that would be really, really irritating. Now, while I pack this yellow into the inner corner of my eye, I want to go ahead and start chatting a little bit about confidence. So something that I get told a lot, which honestly, every time that anyone sends me any type of compliment or is nice to me on the internet, I always think they're lying to me. But that is just, again, me dealing with my own confidence and the lack of it sometimes. But one of the things that a lot of people have said to me is that they wish they had my confidence, which always kind of like trips me out because I don't really think I'm that confident at all. I think that if I take away the makeup and the extravagant outfits that I like to put together and just everything that I use as armor, because that's the thing is I feel like people are always complimenting my confidence to go out in makeup or my confidence to wear a certain thing without realizing that that confidence comes from those things. It's my armor. Like that's really the only way that I can explain it or the best way that I can explain it. So makeup and clothing, I use it as my armor. I use it as a way to create a barrier between me and other people because if they hate my outfit, then they hate my outfit, right? But that doesn't, they don't translate that to me. That is so weird when I say it out loud. And it's a really strange topic for me to talk about because growing up, I had little to no confidence. I did not like myself at all. I was a chubby, weird kid who became the target of a lot of bullying, honestly. And that definitely shifted the perception of myself. And it's taking me years to be this person. I have been interested in makeup basically my whole life. I've always been intrigued by it. I've always just been drawn to the colors and the fact that somebody can change their entire face with just a little pigment and a brush. So when I first started realizing that things were not for me, and that sounds so ridiculous saying it now, but I started very early on in life being told that makeup was not for boys. Barbies are not for boys. Pink is not for boys. And I never really understood why, because at the time I just liked it. I didn't know that I was gay yet. I didn't know anything beyond just, I really like the way that this looks for no real reason other than because I like the way that it looks. So it took me a long time to get over the fact that the things that interested me, people were going to tell me they were not for me, whether or not I believed the same thing. Now that the yellow is nice and packed in, it's time to go into this beautiful peachy rosy tone called Tuxedo Rose. Oh, how fitting. Rosy, rose. So I'm gonna go ahead and start putting that in the middle of the eye. And I do want to make sure that I am applying it a little bit over the yellow, but not blending it. Right now we're just tapping it in. So we're gonna go ahead and start, such a pretty color. Tapping that in. So I had all of these likes when I was young, right? There was things that I wanted to try, things that I wanted to do, and very quickly the world began to tell me that I couldn't, and they couldn't give me a good reason beyond just my gender, which now we know gender is extremely fluid, but back then, and you know, I was born in '89 in Mexico, things were very different. It was just very much, you are a boy, so you like these things, and you can't like these other things just because you're a boy, which is totally, totally dumb. Thinking back on it, it's so whack. My parents were not the main people to do this, but they did limit me, not because of the way that they felt, but because of the way that other people would treat me. So now we are going to go into this purple with a smaller fluffy brush, and I'm just gonna pack that on the outer V of my eye. Wait, wrong side. There we go. If this lighting changed, I'm so sorry. My ring light just did a weird thing where it like changed the temperature, and I'm not sure that I got it to, I think it's the same, but sorry if it changed slightly. But anyway, so I'm continuing to just pack this purple into the outer corner. Oh, and that color is called Miracle Romance. I forgot to say earlier. And I'm gonna go ahead and start also drawing this extended shape. Using a bigger brush now to really, this is like a really nice, dense, round, but flat at the top brush. And it just like packs the color so well. So I'm just kind of adding extra kick to the purple because I was just kind of like drawing the template with the smaller brush. Now I can go in and start smoking this out a little bit. Now going back to the smaller brush, I'm just gonna go ahead and start putting some of the purple in the lower lash line. That's so pretty. I really like this color. Tuxedo Rose, and then we're just gonna put that down here as well. Just gonna put it right in the middle. And we're just packing, packing, packing. Okay. Now back to this topic of confidence. So, you know, from my little backstory that I just gave you about myself, I think you can tell that I definitely did not have very much confidence growing up. As a weird, chubby kid and immigrant in the United States, I definitely stood out. I didn't speak English when I first came here, so there was that, and we were definitely very poor. There was just a lot of things that when I was young, I didn't know were an issue until other people told me that it was an issue. And I think that that's honestly how most self-confidence issues come to be in our lives. You know, you look at yourself every single day and you're like, okay, that's what I look like. And then suddenly somebody looks at you and tells you, your nose is crooked. Something that you didn't notice before, something that didn't bother you before suddenly starts to get to you. And that's basically what happened to me. A lot of the things that I thought about myself were not because I thought them, was because I was told by others. Now that we have the color nice and, you know, blocked, and it looks very blocky, I'm gonna go ahead and start the blending. So the best way to do that is to go back to the original colors that I was using. And I'm just gonna take a little bit, just a tiny bit of the yellow, and start right here at the line, just kind of brushing it towards the yellow. Very lightly. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that for the rest of them, and then I'll come back and chat a little bit more about confidence. I have said that word so many times. If you're playing a drinking game with it, Please don't, you will die. And now I'm going to add this right here, which is the color Love. It's this one right here. I'm just taking it on a very soft brush. Like, it's not super dense at all. It's very fluffy. Take off the excess. And I'm just gonna go ahead and start blending the top. And I'm gonna start right here and then just start blending it in. And back to talking a little bit about confidence. So when you grow up, you know, basically being told that who you are is not right, the things that you like are not right, everything about you is not what it's supposed to be, it really begins to shape the way that you see yourself, and you start to limit yourself before the world does it for you. Just continuing to blend the edges and a little bit of the colors using that shade Love. And yeah, it's such a pretty pinky shade. This needs a little bit more. So I did my bottom waterline with the gel liner by Colourpop in shade Insomniac, which is super relatable because I definitely have a hard time sleeping. Now I'm going in with the Fenty Beauty Full Frontal mascara in Cause I'm Black, and I'm gonna go ahead and do my top and bottom lashes, but I'm gonna do that off of camera because otherwise I will mess up and get black all over my eyelid and then be really, really sad. So be right back. So just like I said that I was gonna do, I did this side without any issues, and then I was like, you know what, this needs a little bit more. Why am I this way? Let me quickly fix this and I'll be right back. Ugh. Completely forgot to record this, but whenever I do liner, it tends to be really tedious and time consuming, but I'm going in with Cursed from the Jelly Much Shadows by Colourpop. This is just a vibrant metallic gold. And I'm taking a little bit on an angled brush, and I am just doing a little bit of a graphic liner, but not too much, just out in the outer corner. So final step, I'm just taking a little bit of micellar cleansing water on a cotton swab and just taking a tiny bit on the tip. And then that way I can get these like harsher lines on the bottom. I didn't get the blush that came with the palette. It sold out before I could get it. So I'm using the Myself and MMMMMitchell palette. It has this two beautiful pink shades. It's Milkshake and Morning Glory. I'm taking mostly Milkshake and then literally just one tap of the hot pink and then lightly tapping it just on the apples of my cheek. Honestly, I might even extend a little bit to my nose because I like that flushed anime style. So this is the final look. I know that it's a lot, but like I said earlier today, I wanted to bring a little bit of whimsy and color to my life, and I did just that. I did finish up with the Ultra Glossy Lip in shade My Pet. This was the Maleficent shade from the Villains collection from Colourpop. And it's just a pretty glossy pink sparkles. Just it fit into the whole theme. But yeah, so this is the final look. What do you guys think? Hopefully you like it. I think it's cool. I think it's really pretty. Is it the best makeup that I've ever done? No. But did I have fun doing it? Yes. To close things off, I wanted to finish the conversation. I'm really sorry that I talked about it while doing the makeup and then I wouldn't talk about it. It was a little bit more complicated than I thought it was gonna be. These beauty gurus on the internet make it look really easy. I think next time I need to have an exact template already written out and then talk, but I'd rather just speak how it comes to me. When I first started playing with makeup, I still remember the one DM that really changed the way I felt about it. And what I mean by that is, I think I had posted 2 or 3 pictures just having makeup on and not really making a big deal about it. And it was just a little bit of inner corner highlight or just one solid color on my lid. It was really just the basics. But I received a message from somebody around my age. I think he's 34, I'm 30, so very similar in age. He was very attractive, established person in his career, and he just wanted to thank me. And I wasn't really sure why, right? Like, what is there to thank me for? I'm just posting pictures online. I didn't remember doing anything special, but he told me that watching me on my stories, playing with my makeup and having fun and posting it onto my timeline gave him confidence. And it gave him the confidence to finally go and purchase his first eyeshadow palette. And I sometimes get messages from people who want to express that they wish they had my confidence without realizing that me dressing up and putting on makeup and being a little over the top with my personal style is not necessarily because I have confidence. In fact, it's because it's my armor. It's what gives me that little bit of confidence to be excited about the way that I look. I grew up hating my body, thinking I was and being told that I was ugly by some pretty awful people in my life. And so I had to learn to love myself. And I was able to do that through fashion, through my self-portraits that I do. I still remember the very first time that I looked at a self-portrait of me and thought, wow, you look nice. And it was the first time that I really saw myself as somebody worthy of anything, which is so sad, right? But that's what I'm trying to explain is no matter how confident you think somebody is, no matter how strong they portray themselves to be online, we're all faking it, even just a little bit. I have found the confidence that I have now after years of forcing myself to see it. And then I started to believe it. I started going to the gym and I started to try and be fit, not just be thin. I started, you know, really focusing on the way that I was dressing my body and not trying to look like other people, not trying to copy every trend that I see online, but really make one for myself. And every time that I wore something that before I left the house, I was just like, okay, boo, you look good today. I will always get someone to come up to me and compliment my outfit. Whether it's, I like your shoes, really love your jacket, the color on your eyes is so pretty. Whenever you feel good in what you're in, other people see it. So when you're seeing these people online, I just want you to remember that confidence is often faked. Some of the most beautiful people in the entire world are also some of the most insecure because they grew up being only praised on their looks. And so it becomes a insecurity to always look good. So put aside any mean thoughts that you have to yourself and just be kind to yourself. That is honestly what self-love is. Like I said, you may not always like yourself, but you have to always love yourself. Have fun. Life is short. The world is going to be awful. Don't be one of the mean people to yourself. Be your biggest cheerleader. So quick TLDR, because that was a lot. Basically, spend a little bit more time loving yourself and having fun with the world, and you will radiate that confidence. Have fun. Life is too short, guys. Be nice to one another. I know that the news are super stressful right now, and I send anyone who's being affected by this virus so much love and so much compassion, and I'm so sorry for there's just so much going on that it can be a little overwhelming. So just know that you are not in this by yourself. We are here with you. We see you. You are valid. And a quick little final thoughts on the palette itself. I really liked it. I only used the bottom row, but yellows are really hard to do, and that yellow is there. And I didn't use a white base, so I think this is a win for sure. Although there's a lot of fallout, so if you don't like fallout, this won't be for you, boo. But I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I send you so much love. Oh, I don't usually wear stuff on my lips, and now my hands are covered in this lip gloss. Life is hard. But hey, now my hands are sparkly too, so